Well, I know it's been, I guess, a week or 10 days since we found out the news. Any update on how you're feeling physically?
I feel good. Just been able to make some really good improvements. I think just the unfortunate part not being able to be here from day one, but at the same time, just really trying to maximize each day and just get healthy and so that I can be out here with the guys and be able to provide everything I possibly can and the reason for being here. It's not only to be able to produce out on the field, but to be in the clubhouse and be a guy that they can look to and be around and get advice and just that the sort of things that kind of keep a team kind of a cohesive group, and you have to be here to be able to do so. So it's nice to finally kind of get back into the swing of things, because it's very unusual for me to not be here, especially from day one of camp. So it's just kind of, you bite the bullet, but there's things that I'm trying to do is just getting healthy so that I can be a big part of what this team is.
Alex talks about the off-the-field stuff. You're brought over here, former World Series MVP. You bring a lot of leadership, got younger guys in the rotation, Max Fried, Soroka. What kind of stuff will you be handing down?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate enough to be around some really good veterans when I was younger. So when you have those types of guys around, you start to realize when you're finally in that position that just being around them, being a familiar face, seeing their work ethic, seeing what you can kind of do to just kind of point them in the right direction sometimes when they have questions, but really get to know them on a personal level, besides that kind of professional level that we all see out on a baseball field. And I think that's what it takes. Is it just takes time. And in non-stressful situations, so that's kind of the case, because you're not wanting to go up to a guy in the middle of a game, when, say, he might have given up a couple hits or something. There's just times that spring training's really just a positive place to be around, because guys are really trying to get their work in. They're going to ask questions and be more receptive, and it's just being able to be there and kind of be somebody that can give them some good pointers. But also it's just the competitiveness. I think when you see guys around and you kind of understand what they've done in the past, you want to see how it's going to translate in the present. And when you're around guys and you see what made them good, just by being around them daily and seeing the work ethic, and then just seeing how they don't give in. And that's kind of what I would take from when I was younger and I was coming up to a lot of the veterans I have, and that's kind of what I would emulate, and that's what I'll continue to do. And I think that's what helps push us and creates that competitive fire, and that cohesive group as a starting staff.
When did you do it, and did you know immediately that something was wrong, or was it something like you woke up with the next day?
Yeah, no, I was just increasing my throwing program in January, and that was something I was getting close to, being able to get in a situation to throw bullpens, and it just wasn't feeling right. Especially from past experiences, I know how I'm supposed to feel in January and where I kind of am, and just everything wasn't feeling right. And so I think that was just kind of the culmination. You always try to pinpoint an exact reason or throw or lift or situation that probably caused the inflammation or an injury in general. But it was just kind of a culmination of just some really intense workouts for over a week and a half, and then it just kind of hit a point where I knew I couldn't get past it, because soreness is good, but you have to know what type of soreness is good and what's bad. And it was just kind of getting away from that comforting feel that you're pushing it, you're getting better, you're getting stronger. It was more so towards that injury sort of area, and it just wasn't feeling as good as I would have thought, and I wasn't confident that it was something I could overcome without asking the right questions.
I know Braves fans are excited about you. What's it going to be like putting on an Atlanta jersey, taking the field?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I've you grow up watching TBS and the '90s Braves, and then to be able to pitch against the Braves, for a really big chunk of time earlier in my career, there's nothing better than coming down to Braves country and seeing what the fan base is, and the team was always great. Developed some really good relationships with some guys, McCann and Francoeur that were big guys when we kind of were all playing against each other, and they're from Georgia, so they would tell me all about just how impressive it is, and to get an opportunity to be here. This team is a phenomenal team, and incredible venue. Now they got 2 new venues, so it's just wanting to just be one little piece to kind of help them put them over the top. They've got great guys here, and I think just the signings and everybody they're adding, they really are doing something special. So I feel fortunate that I was a guy that they looked at, that they felt like would be able to help them, and I'm just going to do everything I possibly can to do so. And I think this team is exactly the type of team that they've been able to create, and they're definitely ready to win a World Series.
And a couple of weeks ago, they said, we'll give them 3 weeks and reevaluate. Do you have an idea in your head when you hope to maybe start getting things back to normal again, or is it just sort of wait till these 2 weeks are up?
No, it's I know with in talking to medical staff and obviously our therapists, and it's just making sure I can knock out the inflammation that I have in that shoulder, because it's something you don't want to linger. I think that was something that tend to happen at times when you want to push through, and you think the next day or the next week it's going to get better, but if you never really got it down to kind of a square zero, where everything's feeling great, and then build up from there, you're just always going to be behind the 8 ball. So that was the time that they said that they had really good success with. Just in trying to calm down inflammation. That was the kind of the timeline. So I feel confident that if I'm able to do that, then I can build back up the right way, and just try to go back to getting in the right routine that I know that I can be the best pitcher that I can, and stay healthy for the remainder of the year and put up good numbers.
What have you been able to do since you shut it down?
Gosh, the first couple of weeks are not fun. So you just kind of try to revert back to something. For me, I can start to kind of do a little bit more of the lower body exercises, but even with that, you can't do that every day. And just kind of build up your cardio. Slowly getting back into shoulder strengthening again, because that's what it is. You want to have a strong foundation, and that's where I'm building up right now. Is getting back my shoulder strength. Developing that foundation before I actually start to go do the throwing program, the long toss, and then getting right back into the mix with all these guys are already at.